What's going on, you guys? Now, this Karina's challenge was a bit more difficult for me than probably most people out there. But we're gonna start off. This is the Masterful Mutants challenge. You only have to use mutants on your team, and only have to get about halfway through the Necropolis. So, my team consisted of two Mr. Sinisters, an Onslaught, an Apocalypse, and then a Magneto House of X, which was not really that useful because none of my champions were heroes or metal, so it didn't count at all. So I wouldn't use Magneto House of X, but it really depends who you have in your roster. However, Onslaught's going to be your main help, and the Mr. Sinister will be nice because most people have a Mr. Sinister by now at this point. So this first fight, Sauron, it's pretty straightforward. I assume you guys watching this have done the Necropolis because that's why you're clicking on this video, likely. So it's the same as before. Obviously it's been a while, but he's just gonna I don't really know the new node, the Necropolis node for Sauron here, but just be mindful of his unblockable when he gets like above, I don't know, I think it's about 6 or 7 prowess. Next time he dashes in, he will go unblockable. So that's the main thing to worry about that I would tell you guys that I had to worry about. So just watch out for the unblockable, but that's going to be it for that fight. Each of these fights take a decently long amount of time. Not too long, but some of the fights I just did not really have an understanding what was happening. It was mainly due to the Champions kit. So we'll get to that. Airwalker. We'll get to that though in a few fights here. So this first fight, yeah, obviously just use anyone you can or anyone you really want. I don't really know the best options for this Necropolis, honestly. I'm pretty sure Dazzler works. You know, just general mutant champions. Just make sure that you have them highly ranked up. That's really only the main thing. I know Strife can work. Okay, KT1's about to go live. He's about to do another challenge. Man, he's kind of like, he's also another really good guide if you need multiple guides, KT1. But yeah, you just use anyone, Mr. Sinister, Onslaught, Dazzler, Strife. Just make sure you have them really high ranked up. I mean, these are the champions I had ranked up, which are Mr. Sinisters and Onslaughts, and they're also just good for long form content because of their high damage output and utility. So that's the first fight, and now the second fight is a Hit Monkey. Now Hit Monkey is just gonna, I think he's gonna activate his Purifies and Tenacities, or yeah, same thing. His Purifies and his Evades more often. So I don't know what Mr. Sinister, what kind of, I think he may have some utility with ability accuracy reduction because he was able to reduce the ability accuracy, I think, of the Purifies. Hitmonkey wasn't really purifying anything that I was throwing at him, which is really nice. But just watch out for the evades in general. This Necropolis quest, there are a lot of evading. There's a lot of evading in this challenge. There's like a 50% chance the defender evades if you hit them at all. Throughout all of these fights, I believe, or just the first 3 fights, because the path splits up into one single path that you take every time that you go down one of these 3 lanes on the left side, which is the path that you have to take to get to this path, to get to these fights. So hopefully that made sense. But yeah, they're gonna evade a lot, so just if you're hitting them at all with basic attacks, just know that they're probably gonna evade, or just be ready for it. Sometimes you have to hit them, you can't stun them, so just be ready for it in case it does happen. And yeah, I really just try to I say use Mr. Sinister or Onslaught here because they work. I guess Mr. Sinister works against Purifiers. I didn't really know that, but they both work great against him. Okay, I used both of them here. And the first 2 fights took me, I don't know how many revives, like probably, I used a bit of revives. In total, I used probably like, maybe 15 revives, including team revives. So it was just cause some dumb little mistakes, but just make sure you also top them revives. That's obvious though. You guys should already know that. But that's really it for the rest of this fight. I just keep throwing degens, which is really nice for him, Monkey. And make sure to pause your degens with Mr. Sinister. So one note here: if you're gonna bring Apocalypse, make sure you do this. I would say on the Sauron fight, just to get it down already. But when Hitmonkey, or when the opponent is really low in health, like 1%, swap in for Apocalypse so you can activate the Horseman ability. So as you see, I just remembered for that fight, and I killed him off with Apocalypse, and then I put Horseman on Onslaught. So that's gonna just boost his damage, is really nice. But yeah, you're gonna want to make an Onslaught a Horseman, I would say, out of anyone. He's just the most reliable, of course, even though Mr. Sinister does a lot of damage still. I put it on. It just depends whoever you want to put it on. And one more note, of course, boosts. Guys, don't forget your boosts. I'm kind of running low on boosts, but just don't forget your boosts. Of course, they really help. They can almost like double your PI, which is pretty nice. And for this America Chavez fight, this is one of the more trickier ones. So she's going to be gaining a lot of charges, whether you like it or not, or a lot of dimensions, whether you like it or not. So if you knock her down once, she's gonna have a 12-second timer, and then if you knock her down again in that 12-second timer, she's gonna get the purple dimension, the negative zone. Excuse me. But she will get that negative zone dimension, and then that's gonna basically, make her unblockable during the special 2, and then of course she's gonna get power from her special 1 more often, because that's how she works. But after, because you have to knock her. I mean, with the champions I used, you have to knock her down. So I just had to do it. So she's just gonna expect her to be gaining a lot of her dimensions. If she gets to special 2 at all, just make sure you try and swap her to a different dimension. Let her get a different dimension by letting her throw a heavy attack, so it doesn't go unblockable. But that's the moral of that fight. Just knock her down when you have to, but try not to do it as much, and know that she's gonna get dimensions. And this is the hardest fight. So it was mainly my fault though. I had to read Airwalker's abilities after this. It was a bit annoying. The main thing to note here, you can use anyone. I guess I would say Mr. Sinister, because you're gonna have to be managing Airwalker a lot, so you just want to have a quicker damage source, which will be Mr. Sinister. And Airwalker, he's just, don't let him throw Dark Tides on you. So I don't know exactly how it works. I read up on him and everything. It still kind of confused me, but his armor breaks will cause the Dark Tides to do damage to you, like passive, so it sucks. So just block his special 1 or parry it. Excuse me. And then special 2, I don't think you can really avoid the Dark Tides, as you see right here. I get 3 on me just because I don't think the special 2 is avoidable. But you get rid of 1 when you fill bar of power, so that's how you get rid of them. And special 1, if you just block it, I believe it won't apply to you for the special 1. And the armor breaks are doing damage, but just block the special 1s and try not to push him to a special 2. You have to knock him down so he doesn't gain his Galactus buff with this Necropolis node. But that's the moral of the story of this fight. I died a lot here, like the most. So just keep knocking him down and try to pay his special 1s. And because if you get 10 Dark Tides on you, the debuffs, they will turn into 1 passive that lasts for 2 more fights, and it does a ton of damage. And you basically have to, you can't use that champion because you just die instantly, which is what happened to me a lot. Excuse me. So the next fight here is Captain Britain, and I mean, as you can see, I have that Dark Tide on me. It's actually a passive, which is not great. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to deal with it though, because it was applied from the Airwalker fight. But this fight's very straightforward. The Dark Tide just affects you like I think ability accuracy and like offensive damage or something, but it's really not that important after you kill Airwalker. So this fight, I recommend using Onslaught. You can use Mr. Sinister too. I believe Onslaught is immune to reverse controls. I'm almost 100% sure, and that's basically this fight. It's just reverse controls. So I'd use Onslaught. Get your neuroshocks up, get your degen up, and then just keep pausing it, and that's going to be the moral of the story of this fight. And now, I mean, you just keep spamming it. This is like mostly what you do for most of the fights in this Necropolis run. You just spam your degens with Onslaught. By the way, guys, if I end up coughing, it might be in the video, it may not. I'm still kind of sick, so it sucks, but just bear with me here. And now we're on to the Wiccan fight. So this Wiccan fight, I would use Onslaught again. He's actually going to benefit from this because it incinerates, and shocks will actually not do any damage to its Onslaught, and they will actually just apply neuroshocks to Wiccan. But if you have both of them on you, they'll turn into a plasma, which really does hurt you. So this fight, you're gonna want to this is really the easiest fight, I would say. Get your neuroshocks, get your degen, and keep it paused. The main thing, just keep throwing your heavies, try to find openings. And I didn't really look at the necrotic boon, I think that's what it's called, the necrotic boon, like the thing that helps Wiccan from the Necropolis. I didn't look at it, and it didn't even matter for me, honestly. So I mean, just mainly stick to having Wiccan throw special ones, and you'll be denying his healing. I believe it's because of Petra. Is it called Petrify? I don't know, but there's a mastery or despair. I think it's despair. Yeah, I think it's despair. So you may want to have despair unlocked, but either way, Onslaught worked for me here. Despair because the more debuffs you have, the less they regen. Maybe that's what Onslaught's gonna. I don't know. I would just say make sure you have despair unlocked. I don't think I have it maxed out. I may, but I don't think I have it maxed out. So just make sure to get your debuffs on him and keep your degens paused. As you can see, I'm just keep pausing them, just trying to find those openings, and throw a special one, and he will be dead right here. And now we're on to the last fight in a second here. And as you can see, the incinerates aren't hurting me; they're just applying neuroshocks to Wiccan, which is really nice in my favor. And that's gonna end up killing him off. Now on the last fight, what we want to do here, honestly, I would not use Mr. Sinister, but I did use him in the beginning because Mr. Sinister's ability actually is going to be reduced by Psycho Man, and so you're just not going to be able to get your degens up because it's just not gonna. I mean, look, as you can see, I mean, he's going to be blocking because of his kit auto blocking. Your ability actually is going to be reduced. Your special, your bars of power are going to be locked because of his kit. So I would just use Onslaught, but if you have to use Mr. Sinister, try to squeeze in those heavy attacks. It may or may not work sometimes because depends what mode Psycho Man is in. The control mode. If he's in heavy attack, it won't really work. So I mean, you can still get it off, but it's just not going to go as smoothly. And make sure to do the prompts that he prompts you to do, of course, because that's how you will end up killing him off. But Onslaught will really work here. I don't know, maybe he has something with ability accuracy, but all my debuffs are applying. It's also their passive, I'm pretty sure. Maybe that's why. But they were all passive. They were all working. Just keep... Same thing as the last Wiccan fight. Except you just gotta be more focused on... Yeah, as you can see, if he goes unblockable. Just be focused on his control. What control thing Psycho Man is in. And like the prompts he's giving you. To make sure you don't take damage. But that's gonna do it for this fight. And overall, this took me about 2 hours. I did it a bit late. I'm recording this voiceover real late right now, but yeah, man, this took about 2 hours. I'm trying to do one creative challenge every day and post the next one today because it's already 12 a.m. but I'm trying to post it today. I don't know which one I'm gonna do, but this one was a little tricky. I don't think it's the easiest one, but as you can see, get a full 7-star and half a Titan Crystal with 27-star generic 6 stones, which is pretty nice. So now we have a 7-star to open, and I will be saving the Titan shards for when the Titan Crystal updates, because then it's just gonna have newer champions, and I mean that's kind of a given, right? You know, I'm just gonna wait for the new one. So that's why I'm not gonna buy it now. And then we need one more Deathless She-Hulk piece to do that final challenge to get Deathless Lance, which I'm really excited for. But we're gonna spin open this 7-star crystal. Hopefully it's someone good. I'm not telling you guys yet. But I spin it and I almost get Juggernaut. I do get a Korg though. It's a dupe. Not really gonna help me. Juggernaut's on Awakened. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts on these new challenges. It was pretty fun. And yeah, you guys, I'll be seeing you guys very soon.